Hello everyone. Today I'm going to discuss about pandemic in the world. How did people survive it back in the days and the efficient measures with the available tools we got today. Before you watch this video, I strongly suggest you to watch my previous video named Corona and how to fight against it. Now, if you hasn't watched my previous video, I don't think this video will be any interest for you. Therefore, I suggest you to close and don't waste your time on it. Okay? First, let me remind you about some of the history of pandemics that has been happening in our recent or far history. Malaria and cholera during the World War was one of the biggest disasters mankind has ever survived. Nobody could handle that. People was fleeing their homes by massive amount, moving toward other places far from homes. There were hundreds of thousands of people dying on the streets, helpless. Nobody did care about them and nobody could help them either. Governments during that time was forced to burn the entire cities, places, regions, and kill twice higher population than the disease itself. Children were dying, old people were dying, everyone were dying without mercy. Those consequences was thanks to the World War and massive amount of dead people who has spread such disease. There has been black plague also out there, killing people all around and even preachers from the churches. Okay, I'm just giving an example from the Christian side. Okay, been refusing to bless people who has been put inside graveyards. Can you imagine that? You're inside graveyard. The preacher is afraid from your graveyard. One of the biggest regions who were affected by this was unfortunately Balkan, where the biggest atrocities was done before, during and after World War. The virus today, it is indeed concerning and part of what we should be afraid. But think about how many people die from being hungry? How many people die today from flus? How many people die today from malaria? How many people die today from suicide? How many people die today from car accident? How many people die today from AIDS? Or so on. Just think about that. We often tend to underestimate what is already known today, but we overestimate what is unknown for us. So we are afraid from the unknown, but we are not afraid of what is known today, but it can be much more harmful for us than the unknown. Is there a reason to fear from this? Yes, but should we panic about it? No. Do we have tools to survive today much easier pandemics like this compared to back in the days? Of course, yes, we do. And we can. Thanks to global world, open and free society, freedom of speech, united world thanks to the internet, we share information and we can help people all around the world much easier, preventing and helping them to survive much easier such disaster as we do today. Just take an example how all the countries in the world suddenly has taken the same example to prevent the virus from spreading it even further. Just think about it in that way. Now let's get to my second point about how did people survive it back in the days and the efficient measures with available tools we got today, like food or something. Okay, first you need to learn how to make your own alternative ways with food in order to survive quarantine, alarming state of measure, or lack of food in shops. Okay, This is well familiar today. Everyone have this experience right now. When we were young people, we all did remember about the most tasty cookies our grannies did, the best moments when they were self-making our clothes with night and so on. I know the younger generation maybe didn't have or never experienced this, but my generation at least had this experience a bit back in the days when we were young. What is easiest way to survive if there is lack of bread? Just think about that. Yes, bread I mentioned. It is the main thing which keeps us from being hungry and one of the most important thing which keeps us alive. This is the most important thing which keeps us alive. Okay? But what happens if there isn't enough bread in the shops? Because some people buy much more compared to others and there is no bread at all. Well, we need to learn how to cook it. Thanks to internet today, this tool is so amazing for every one of us. How to learn stuff we don't know. There is so much guidance all around it. Whether it's a video guidance or text guidance, you can easily find them. Something our elders never had before, and therefore we should be proud of such advantage we have today. So just let's have an example. What are the most important tools to cook a simple and default way of cooking bread, like amateur bread, nothing special. Number one, yeast. Number two, flour. Number three, oil. Number four, eggs. It's so simple tools and very cheap, which are going to provide you twice higher amount of bread compared to the money you spend buying it on the shop. For more info about how to cook bread, I suggest you to check YouTube and Google guidance around it, how to do it. Maybe first time you will fail, maybe second time you will fail, but third time you will succeed. Trust me, you will do it. I personally never knew, and I have tried and I have done it. Number two, potatoes. Well, we all make jokes and memes about potatoes today, but think about what if there is no bread around, neither pasta? What are our alternatives? Potatoes are one of the cheapest food and easier available food for us to buy. They can stay long enough time in your stockpile, maybe in your fridge or whatever, wherever you put it, I don't know, without getting spoiled. They can last very long time, maybe months, maybe half year. They can well feed you and keep you enough long, similar to bread. I suggest you to make it cooked potatoes rather than wasting lots of money on fried ones. I know fried ones are more tasty, but cooked ones will keep us much more, and it's going to be much cheaper for us. This will keep your supplies bigger until the pandemic period is over. Number three, pasta. Well, if something is cheaper and easiest to buy today compared to other types of food, I can say this one is most likely best as alternative. Number four, beans or lentils. I know it might sound as disgusting for some people, but if you cook them and put a little bit more water than normal and the pasta inside, it will provide you enough times to eat and get fed with lowest amount of money spent, and people are less likely to go and buy them when panic happens. Panic like from the pandemic and fear and so on. Number five, soup. Oh, sorry, I cannot pronounce it easy. Soup. Get the cheapest one. It is going to do the magic. You don't need much about it. Just buy carrots if possible, and will help out in case of food crisis happen. You can eat it with bread even, doesn't matter. Depends on you. Number 6, tea. Well, this is an exception, and it is added here for the main reason because during pandemic times we less likely have enough choice what to eat. So we might often eat heavy food, and that is terrible for our body to work it. Tea is great to soften such pains and allow our body to clean from the issues we might have from the food. It is cheap and much more available for us. The issues I mentioned from the food is getting fat, being unable to go to the toilets, and so on. Tea is helping out in relation to those stuffs. Okay. Number 7, biscuits. Yeah, they can be eaten with tea together. Biscuits are easy food, but when people get in panic, they often forget about alternatives of what it can help them out. Biscuits can be ate while drinking tea or something like milk or whatever. They won't keep you long enough fit, but if the crisis happen, they're more than welcome and helpful as last end point. Number 8, cabbage, tomatoes, peppers, and lettuce. Well, vegetarians know the best about this. Just think about what is cheapest food you can buy from markets. Exactly food like this. I know prices won't be same as normal, but think about such type of food is often oversupplied and lots of times is ending up in garbage, thrown because nobody buys it. This time, this can be mostly helpful than ever you imagine. You don't need much to do it. Either make a salad with it or eat it as it is. Both ways are going to be effective to keep you well fit regardless. Why I didn't point much about meat today. It is unfortunately so expensive for us during crisis periods. You're welcome to go for it, but think about what is easiest and cheapest way to survive such event. Thanks for watching, and I hope you're all doing well. Don't forget to subscribe in my channel if you like my advices and enjoying the moments with your close ones during these bad days. And again, same as my first video, I express my condolences to the victims of this coronavirus, COVID-19, and to those who have suffered it. Bye.